Welcome back to the Headline Roast, where the news is hotter than a lunar lander on re-entry and messier than a trade deal at a state dinner. It's Friday, May 9th, 2025. And we've got stories ranging from PayPal history and poisoned vultures to NASA's moon mission reboot and global economic chaos. We roast the headlines every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, weekend. So subscribe if you want to sound smart, skeptical, and slightly dangerous without refreshing 5 news apps. Let's dive in. Story 1. Pope Leo XIV elected. First American Pope ever history has officially gone full plot twist. Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost of Chicago has been elected Pope and taken the name Leo XIV. Yes, an American Pope. The Vatican is still vibrating. The U.S. is claiming spiritual bragging rights. Catholics everywhere are Googling, is this allowed? The conclave reportedly rallied around Prevost after multiple rounds of deadlock and black smoke. He's a veteran bishop with a rep for unity and quiet confidence. Think less TikTok, more theology. Reactions are mixed. American Catholics are hyped. Italian bishops are side-eyeing the Chicago accent, and evangelicals are double-checking their doctrine. Either way, Pope Leo XIV is here, and he's about to find out that leading 3 billion people is slightly harder than leading a Sunday homily. Story 2. US and UK finalize new trade deal. America and Britain have signed a new trade pact that's basically a reboot of the 1776 breakup, but with more stake. The deal lowers tariffs on British cars and makes it easier for us beef and ethanol to cross the Atlantic. Officials are calling it a beautiful partnership. Critics are calling it Brexit cleanup with better branding. Economists say it might ease some pressure from recent global tariff spats. Farmers are cautiously optimistic, and British automakers are already polishing their minis. This agreement is part diplomacy, part damage control, and 100% a reminder that even allies have receipts. Bonus, no tea was thrown in the harbor this time. Story 3. Russia's victory parade sparks Western backlash. Russia's victory. A day parade just turned into a global group chat argument. European leaders are criticizing the attendance of certain international figures at the Moscow celebration. Despite Russia's ongoing war in Ukraine, Poland's prime minister said showing up was shameful. Russia, meanwhile, showcased tanks, missiles, and military fanfare like it's 1950 with better editing. China and North Korea were represented. The EU was not impressed. The optics are dicey. Attending a parade while bombs are still falling doesn't exactly scream peace. But Moscow clearly wanted a flex moment, and judging by the backlash, they got one. Just not the kind they wanted. Story 4. Bank of England cuts interest rate to 4.25%. The Bank of England just cut rates, because apparently even royalty needs a stimulus. The rate drop from 4.5% to 4.25% is aimed at jolting the economy amid stagnant growth, high taxes, and Brexit baggage. Consumers are cautiously cheering. Mortgage holders are sighing with relief. Investors are refreshing their apps like it's Wimbledon. Inflation's still a thing, though. And economists warn that lower rates don't fix structural issues. They just slow down the pain. Still, a rate cut is a signal. The economy's not on fire, but it's definitely not thriving. Or, as British economists say, it's not dreadful, but it's a bit pants. Story 5. Mass vulture poisoning in South Africa. Kruger National Park just had one of the worst wildlife poisonings in its history. Authorities discovered 123 dead vultures and a poisoned elephant, likely victims of illegal poachers trying to cover their tracks. The motive: vultures circling over poaching sites tip off rangers, so poachers poison the birds. It's a gruesome cycle that's devastating already endangered populations. Conservationists are horrified. Tourists are stunned. The ecological ripple effects are massive. The vulture die-off disrupts scavenger ecosystems, speeds disease spread, and throws the park's balance into chaos. South African officials have launched a full investigation, and people are calling for harsher penalties. Nature deserves better than being collateral damage in an ivory heist. Story 6. Air ambulance crash in Chile kills 6. Tragedy struck in Chile when an air ambulance went down between Tiltal and 6 people on board died. The flight was reportedly on a medical emergency mission. Authorities are still investigating the cause, whether mechanical failure or both. It's a grim reminder of how dangerous essential services can be, even when they're saving lives. The region is mourning. Flags are at half-staff. And the flight's crew, medical professionals, and pilots are being hailed as heroes. It's not just a crash. It's a national wound. Story 7. Trump proposes 80% tariff on Chinese imports. Trump has proposed an 80% tariff on Chinese imports. Yes, minus 80, not 8. He says it's about protecting American jobs. Critics say it's about tanking trade talks before they start. Markets already sweating. Analysts are calling it economic gasoline on a bonfire. The timing is wild. Right before U.S.-China negotiations in Switzerland? Some say it's leverage. Others say it's sabotage. Either way, expect a lot of headlines, heated statements, and very expensive electronics. Story 8. NASA prioritizes crew safety in Artemis II moon mission. NASA is gearing up for Artemis II, the first crewed mission to orbit the moon since Apollo. But this week, they hit pause to review safety protocols. No technical failures yet, just a proactive check-in before humans blast off into the void. The mission, set to send for astronauts around the moon, is critical to NASA's long-term lunar goals. Engineers are reviewing everything from heat shielding to comms delays. Meanwhile, the crew is training hard, simulating weightlessness and running drills in lunar gravity suits. It's a cautious step back to make sure the next leap forward doesn't fall flat. Story 9. Court rules Alabama redistricting discriminatory. Federal court just ruled that Alabama's congressional map intentionally discriminates against black voters. The court ordered the creation of a second district to give black residents more equitable representation. This isn't the first time Alabama's map has come under fire, but it might be the most consequential. Civil rights groups are calling it a victory. GOP lawmakers are preparing appeals and voters. They're watching, waiting, and probably a little exhausted. Redistricting may sound boring, but it shapes who gets heard in Washington, and this decision just changed the volume. Story 10. UK wildfires surge to highest since 2012. The UK has seen over 160 major wildfires this year, the highest total since 2012. Blame record heat, dry conditions, and confused foxes. Firefighters are stretched thin. Farmers are sweating. And climate scientists are waving every red flag they can find. The fires have scorched farmland, threatened homes, and triggered air quality alerts in major cities. Some are calling for a national wildfire strategy. Others are just praying for rain. But one thing's clear. This isn't just a hot spell. It's a climate alarm clock. And it's getting louder. Brainteaser last episode's question. What can travel around the world while staying in the same corner? Answer, a stamp. Today's teaser. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Hint, you leave me everywhere, but you can't ever pick me back up. That's your Friday brain melter, from lunar launches and PayPal plot twists to trade brawls and burning fields. Subscribe if you haven't. We're back Monday with more snark, facts, and chaotic wisdom. Until then, stay smart, stay weird, and if someone offers you vulture stew, maybe pass.